This is KGW News at 11.
And we begin with breaking news this evening. 2 Hillsborough police officers are on administrative leave tonight after they shot and killed a man earlier today. Thank you for joining us. I'm Tim Gordon. Here's what we know so far. Hillsborough police officers were called to Northeast Miriam Way at 10:20 this morning. Officers say a man was inside a woman's home who had a restraining order against him. They later learned the man claimed to be armed and took the woman hostage. Investigators have not released any information about what led up to that police shooting that killed the man. This is, of course, an open investigation, so we're still expecting to learn more details. We'll be sure to bring you the latest on air and online at kgw.com. Well, a man died Tuesday night while being transported to a mental health facility by Milwaukee police. Now his family is grieving and asking questions about what happened that night. Ashley Graham shares their story.
On December 12th, 26-year-old Jean-Michael Descamps died while Milwaukee police officers were bringing him to a mental health facility.
I miss him so much. I haven't seen him in so long because of the drugs.
The loss of Descamps painful for his sister Gabby Kabatic.
I have so many pictures I could show you. Just like him making funny faces all the time because that's how he was.
Police say Descamps was discharged from the emergency room at Providence Hospital, but he didn't want to leave. That's when Milwaukee police showed up.
And he had warrants out for his arrest. But they determined that it wasn't in his best interest to take him to jail. And they felt that he was a danger to himself and maybe to other people.
That's why officers decided to drive Descamps to Unity Center for Behavioral Health. When they got there, they found Descamps unresponsive. Portland police are leading the investigation and say his death was likely due to a drug overdose and contributing natural causes.
It was my worst fear that this would actually happen someday.
Kabatic and her father say Descamps lived on the streets in Portland and struggled for years with addiction.
He was a really good kid, and I think he just ran into the wrong crowd and wrong friends and just went down the wrong path.
While the family understands Descamps was using drugs, they still have questions about the circumstances surrounding his death.
How he's overdosing in the back seat and no one does anything? They realize he's unresponsive when they get to the facility? That doesn't make any sense to me.
As family and friends reflect on the short life of Jean-Michael Descamps, they're reminded of one thing.
Just because they're drug addicts doesn't mean that they're not human.
Well, the 2 Milwaukee police officers who were transporting Descamps are on administrative leave, which is standard practice in a situation like this one. Portland police officers are still investigating and waiting for a toxicology report. Tim?
Ashley, so hard for that family, and we're feeling for them tonight. Thanks a lot. Well, now to that small plane crash in Independence that we brought you as breaking news last night at 11. Both local and federal authorities are investigating the crash that killed 3 people. Sydney Dorner has the latest.
Today, police confirmed all 3 people on board died when the plane went down around 5 p.m. last night. I spoke with people who saw the brush fire ignite shortly after the plane collided with power lines.
The explosion, the pops, the flash, and then ran out. I ran across the street. There were cars kind of running, so we stopped them all and ran across.
Elena Peterson says she and another man jumped through bushes and found the small plane on fire.
And I think I arrived like 3 minutes after the plane crashed.
She says she grew up in the tight-knit town where incidents like this are rare.
Our fire department isn't even set up to respond to a plane crash right now. It's kind of crazy.
Sunday, Independence police identified the 3 men on board who died. 35-year-old Mohammed Hussein Musawi, who was the pilot from Independence. The 2 passengers were Mohammed Bashir Safdari, also from Independence, and Ali John Ferdowsi from Salem. The Independence Police Department and Federal Aviation Administration are still looking into exactly what caused the crash. We're told the plane was trying to land at Independence State Airport and had originally taken off from McMinnville Airport. Police noted the foggy conditions in the area at the time. Hundreds of people living near the crash site were still without power Sunday afternoon, nearly 24 hours after the plane went down.
It was 31 degrees outside this morning, and most people are on some form of electrical heating. So like we have no heat inside our house except for our fireplaces.
Sydney Dorner, KGW News.
Well, thankfully, power is back on now. Pacific Power says electricity was restored in Independence this evening. Well, a heads up for you tonight. The Steel Bridge bicycle and pedestrian multi-use path will be closed starting tomorrow morning. Crews are going to do some work to complete some bridge repairs there. That portion of the bridge will be closed every day this week from 7 in the morning to 6 in the evening. Pedestrians and cyclists could use the upper deck of the bridge or other bridges as alternate routes. All right, here's a live look across downtown Portland tonight. Much of this weekend's been really quite quiet, but we are tracking some small changes ahead of tomorrow. Let's check in with meteorologist Joe Ranieri with what the week's going to hold for us. Joe?
Hey there, Timothy. Yeah, we're going to be looking at a good chance to see some scattered showers to start things off tomorrow morning, but it's going to be basically more dry than wet at times. I'm forecasting no more than 1/10 of an inch of rain. The big weather headlines tomorrow will be out in the gorge. We're going to be seeing some very windy conditions. So here's the setup. We have that ridge of high pressure that we saw this weekend going to be pushing off to the east. So we do have a little disturbance coming in from our south that is producing a little bit of some light snow showers throughout the Oregon Cascades, a little bit, or I should say the east side of the mountains near Bend and Madras along Highway 97. Looking into the hour-by-hour forecast, as we put this into motion, you can kind of see just how light those showers will be. We'll start to see them pick up really throughout your morning commute. Some of you might not even have much in terms of measurable amount of rain for tomorrow. The rain will, though, pick up late tomorrow night into Tuesday. Tuesday looks to be more the wettest day of the week. And as we look at the winds, yeah, we're going to be looking at gusts. The more east you go near the gorge, anywhere from 40 to 45 miles an hour. Gusts pick up a little bit along the Oregon coast, right around 15 to 20. But again, most of the windy conditions will be out near the gorge. And I looked near Corbett earlier this afternoon. They saw a wind gust of about 76 miles an hour. I'll talk more about what we can expect to see the rest of this week and also talk about a big holiday that's right around the corner. Well, I'm sure a lot of people are trying to make their plans for the travel. I'll let you know what you can expect to see Christmas Eve and Christmas Day coming up.
Oh, that's right, Christmas. I was wondering which big holiday you were talking
about. Week from tomorrow, by the way, in case you're wondering.
Okay, Joe. Thanks so much. Well, some parents in the Tigerton School District are circulating a petition to oust the superintendent. They say violence and disruptive behavior has increased under her leadership. Thomas Schultz has more.
Over the past several months, the Tigerton School District has dealt with shooting threats on campus and viral videos of fights. Now some parents and students want change.
We need to have a sense of emergency and urgency.
Parents of Tigerton students say for years, violence and disruptive behavior has been on the rise. Students are concerned too.
Nobody should hear the things that I hear at school every single day. I watch students cuss out teachers when they don't want to follow the rules or they are having a bad day.
At a recent school board meeting, Beatrice, a 7th grader at Hazelbrook Middle School, said students who misbehave don't face major consequences.
It feels like there are two groups of kids, the ones that follow the rules and everyone else that just gets to do whatever they want.
And some parents feel out of the loop.
We need transparency. We need to know what our students are facing in schools.
Victoria King says she hears about school violence from her children weekly.
It's really disheartening.
And she says she's one of hundreds of Tigerton parents who signed a petition to oust Superintendent Sue Reike-Smith. A Facebook page of parents and community members fed up with school leadership now has 1,000 members. In response, a Tigerton spokesperson says they're aware of the petition, but are unsure who created or signed the survey. They say it's unclear if many of the signees actually have students in the school district. Still, some families say increased disruptions are affecting learning.
We need real change.
And some are thinking about leaving Tigerton schools for good.
If we feel that it's just gone beyond really control, then we are ready to take our kids out of school.
In response to complaints, a spokesperson for the school district says a new policy was adopted to address school violence last week. They say community feedback was taken into consideration when writing the new policy. Thomas Schultz, KGW News.